Hey Mixers, welcome back to another NBA player props video. It's very late right now. We didn't have a great day again. We're on my last hat. I don't think I've done a butterfly hat for the NBA yet, but this is my last hat, so this is my last try. Then we'll just have to do no hats and see if that's going to work for us. But enough of the jokes. I do want to get better at this, and so let's jump into the recap, and then we'll go over our picks for tomorrow. All right, so we did get Jamal Murray right, which is great. I mean, at least we got something green on the board, but we did not get Franz Wagner. He only had one assist. Paolo did have a good game, but he didn't go over his line. That was a very high line, and I was tempted, but I didn't end up taking it, and he did not go over. And then Nikola Vucevic missed a double-double by 2 rebounds, which is a little bit frustrating, but it is what it is. And then my lean here, Jaren Jackson Jr., he was like the only person on his team who didn't get a rebound. So yeah, he only had 2. But that puts us at a 42% hit rate on the player props. I went back to check how I did last year on the first week of NBA. And unfortunately, I'm here to report I actually went 9-5 last year. So I did have a good start to the season last year. The only good news is that I started 4-12 in college football this season, and I have pulled that up to, I think, 52-53% now. So it is possible to recover. I am going to cut back on my unit sizes a little bit, and I'm going to start implementing some altered lines in my slips just to help build that bankroll back. I'm down about 8 units since the start of NBA. It's kind of hard to tell because I mix in other sports. But we've only had Thursday night football. So basically this week, with just Thursday night football and basketball, I'm down about 8 units. When I get to 10, that's when I really start to cut back and do altered line plays to just build my bankroll. Just get like 2Xs, like double ups. So I am going to start doing that starting tomorrow. So here are the bets for tomorrow. Evan Mobley under 9.5 rebounds. He is the thumbnail. It's scary to fade him right now because he is playing so well. And obviously Darius Garland is not on the court. However, he has been under in both games this season, and he's under in 10 of 11 head-to-head matchups with the Bucks in his entire career. Now, and then the one he did get was his rookie year, just so you know. Here is his schedule, on the screen. Now, the one thing I will say here, so use your own judgment. If Giannis doesn't play, because he is questionable, I think Evan Mobley has a good chance to go over this line. But if Giannis plays, then I do think it'll be a little bit tougher. Jarrett Allen also has not been playing very many minutes, but he has historically been good against this team. So maybe Jarrett Allen does get more minutes in this one. That is part of this bet here. So that is our first one. And then we're going to go Mikal Bridges over 3.5 assists. Now, he's over in 2 of 3 head-to-heads. The third game that he didn't go over was a blowout win by 26 points. So he didn't play his full allotment of minutes there. And you can see he still almost got there with 3. Now this year, he's had 6 on 14 possibles, potential assists. I couldn't think of the word. It is too late, you guys. So he had 6 out of 14 potential assists in that first game against the Cavaliers this year. And then he only had 2 out of 4 potential assists. He only had 4 potential assists in the Celtics game. Josh Hart did come back and play in that game. So I thought, maybe Josh Hart being back on the court is affecting Mikal Bridges' assisting numbers. But that does not seem to be the case, because when Mikal Bridges plays with Josh Hart on the court, his assisting actually goes up on average. So I didn't know what to do with that information. I just think it's a good matchup for him that he's historically done well in. And so I'm going to go with it. And then Emmanuel quickly over 9.5 rebounds and assists. I was thinking about points, rebounds, and assists. So if you guys want to look at that as well, you can. My only issue here is Brandon Ingram has obviously come in and stolen a lot of shooting opportunities. So he's going to be taking a lot of shots, which is taking shots away from someone like Emmanuel quickly, even though they don't really play the same position exactly. But yeah, he's been shooting a little less, and Brandon Ingram's been shooting a little bit more. However, when they're playing up against the Dallas Mavericks, I do think that Brandon Ingram is going to draw the tougher coverage. So that might leave Emmanuel quickly open for more points. So consider the PRA. I ended up going with RA. He's over in 80% of the last 15 games, which is this chart here. And he did have 12 and 15 in the first 2 games that he already played this season. Now, those were against 2 bad defenses, right? The Hawks and the Bucks, not really known for playing defense. Whereas Dallas, I wouldn't say they're known for it, but they are trying to make that their identity this year with, Cooper Flagg is being hyped as like a good defensive player, like a good player on both sides of the ball. We haven't really seen that yet, but I mean, he's young, like he's a teenager. So, I'm sure we will see it. Hopefully not in this game, though, because we're going with Manuel quickly over 9.5 rebounds and assists. All right, Domantas Sabonis is our alt line. So I'm going to take his line. I'm going to take it down to 9.5, and then I'm going to bet the over on that. So he's over in 100% of games with the Lakers, head-to-head, over this altered line, and over 83% of the last 30 games. So he has a good history of going over this line. If you pair this with just a normal pick, you can get a double up. So that, that's probably what I'm going to do with it. And we have one more alt line. Donovan Mitchell over 4.5 assists, excuse me. He's over 75% in head-to-head games, but he's over 100% in head-to-head games where Darius Garland is not on the court. So if you want to just go with his regular assist line at 5.5, it is juiced a little bit, but you can get it for a decent payout. You can go with that. Or you can get the 4.5 on like Prize Picks. You cannot get it on Underdog. So some sites are offering 4.5, some are not. But I think the 5.5 is still actually probably okay. But just make sure the payout is worth it for the risk, basically, is what I'm saying. So it will depend on what prop you pair it with. So obviously, if you pair it with another prop that's juiced, that's not worth the risk. You're not even going to get a double up for that. So make sure you're at least getting a double up, basically, is my advice. All right, and then these 2 games right here don't have any lines yet. Obviously, just looking at it, I would be interested in LaMelo Ball's assists. I would be interested in Colin Sexton, who we should have gone back to. We barely missed last time, and then we should have gone back to him today, which I thought about it, but I didn't do it. And he had a great day. So Colin Sexton didn't come off the bench today. He started, and that probably made the difference because he got his minutes. So I don't know what they'll be doing against the Wizards, but that would be kind of where I'm thinking of going. And then also I would probably look at Kalkbrenner's rebounds, which I didn't get a chance to look at how he did today. But he's been rebounding for them. Well, in the first game he did. He's a rookie, so I don't know what his average is going to end up being, but I do know the Wizards are a bad team. All right, the Pacers and the Timberwolves. In this one here, I would probably want to take a look at Anthony Edwards' 3-pointers, but I'm not going to pay juice, and I don't want to take plus money either. So if it's just like a normal line, then that's something I'd be interested in probably looking at. I think that the Timberwolves are probably going to have a pretty good scoring game here. I don't think the Pacers are very good. I know that you guys don't agree, and they played that Thunder team very hard, but I thought they were miserable today. So anyway, those games don't have lines yet that I could find. All right, so here is the summary. I have 3 best bets today, so you can choose 2 of those 3 best bets that you like, that you think will hit. Make sure you're subscribed and like the video, and if they do hit, you'll be in for that cash giveaway. If we ever hit 2 of our props, which we have done actually. 2 days ago, we hit 2 of our props, just nobody chose those 2. So today, we're just going to hit all 3 probably, and then everybody's going to get in for the cash giveaway. And then the 2 altered line plays. If you guys have some looks that you're looking at, I would love to hear from you because I would like to take a look at those as well. One player I am looking at is Denny Avdija. I can never say his name, but on the Trailblazers. So I was looking at him as well. And then I will look at those other 2 games when they finally do put out props tomorrow. All right, thanks, guys.